Hello YouTube, this is Asatsu5 and I thought I'd film a video over a knife related dream that I had. Not quite a nightmare, but not quite a good dream. It's funny to me because after I woke up and realized the details of the dream, I realized why why it happened the way it happened. Basically, this is it. Some of you may have noticed that I've been on a European knife kick, a traditional European knife kick. I got the Laguiole knife, the Nortel. I was buying some French knives, and I heard of a Sardinian knife called the Patata. And it just so happens that Spyderco is going to be coming out with a Patata knife. But anyways, I started off buying some French knives, and I was doing some research on some other traditional not French knives, but traditional European knives, and I came across this knife called a Patata. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right, from Sardinia. Anywho, I came very close to potentially buying one, but the website wasn't like a a standard shopping website. You don't click add to cart and buy. These are custom knives or custom handmade knives made by artisans that some of them don't even have prices on them. You email them and they email you back with a price. So it wasn't as simple as shopping at Blade HQ or World Knives or Knife Works or anything like that. So I could have tried harder in buying the knife, but it was late at night, and I was like, you know what, I don't feel like dealing with this, so I never actually bought the knife. I ended up several weeks later, maybe even a month later, just last night, having a dream that I was in Sicily shopping for a Patata knife. And I don't have a picture of a Patata knife to show you, but I do have this Nortel, and it has a very similar blade shape to this, which I love this blade shape for a traditional knife. It has a little bit of belly, has good tip control. It's very similar in the fact that depending on which model Nortel knife you get, it doesn't have the turning ferrule lock like this one. You can't lock it. But let's pretend this doesn't have the locking mechanism. The Patata knife doesn't have a locking mechanism. It doesn't have an exposed tang that you grab onto. It's strictly a friction photo. It's a friction photo in the true sense that it's only friction holding it up open. But these knives are not generally called friction photos. They're called penny knives. So it's a penny knife. But has a very similar blade shape to this, but has a different handle, and it's a little bit larger than this. I wanted one, but I ended up not buying it. So I had this dream last night that I was in Sicily, and I wanted to buy me a Patata knife. I was walking around different storefronts, and I guess the tourist section, I guess you can call it, asking, hey, where can I buy a Patata knife? And there's these different knife stores, and they kind of assembled knives in front of you, or not in front of you, but they had knives, and you can say, hey, I want this knife, with this handle material, and they'll kind of assemble it in front of you. Not in front of you, but in their workshop, in their storefront. And which is weird because the penny knives and the Patata and this knife are pinned together. So it's not something you just screw and unscrew. So it's a little bit more ornament. Which wouldn't lend itself to that kind of customization where you can just grab parts and screw them together, because they're handmade and hand fitted to the handles and stuff. But anyways, I went to several knife shops in this dream, and they were all outrageously expensive, and they suggested me to go to this one knife shop, and I went to it. I was like, hey, how much is a Patata knife? And they're like, oh, it costs like $80-something. And I was like, oh man, that's really cheap, I want one. And he goes and back into the shop, and a few minutes later he comes out and he hands me this knife that was a slip joint, not a penny knife or friction photo, and it had two blades on it, had like jig bone, and it was it looked like a case knife. Maybe the seahorse, I think, is a pattern that they used to have, but you don't see very often. It looked like that. And I was like, hey, this is not the knife I wanted. And he wouldn't return it. He said, well, it's yours now. And I was like, so I'm stuck with it. And he's like, yeah, you're stuck with it. And that's pretty much the dream. I walked around Sicily a little bit, visited some other shops, but that was pretty much the dream. And I woke up and I was reflecting on the dream. And I was like, wait a minute. The patata knife is Sardinian. It's from Sardinia. It's an island in the Mediterranean. I think Sicily is a peninsula. I would have to check on that. But I was like, Sicily is not the home of the patata knife. That's why I wasn't getting the knife I was asking for. Because, I was in the wrong area. So I thought that was very interesting. Thought I'd share it with you because in my dream, I just knew that I was in Europe, in the Mediterranean, in a region with an S name, Sicily, which is known for switchblades and the mob and stuff. And but I just knew that I was in a region of the Italy region with an S name, and I was looking for a knife. In my dream, I was asking for a patata. This isn't a patata, but anyways. But I didn't realize in my dream that I wasn't in Sardinia. And when I woke up, I was like, I'm not in Sardinia, so that's why I didn't get a patata knife. And I know this is probably really boring to you, but this was very interesting to me. It's like I was able to figure out why I wasn't getting the product I wanted after I woke up. And I told a couple people this dream that I ran into today, and they probably thought I was crazy because it's not a funny dream to them. It's funny to me, but that's it. I thought I would share it with you. It wasn't a nightmare in the sense that something particularly bad happened. I ended up with a knife I didn't want. By the way, between these two knives, these are my two favorite traditional knives. This is a Victorinox Cadet and the Nortel ball end knife. This is my favorite traditional knife, and I lost it for a few days, and I got very discouraged. I thought I was going to have to buy another one, but I didn't. I found it, so everything's good. I guess my third favorite traditional knife that I own is my Great Eastern Cutlery Whaler, which is kind of impractical, but it's cool. So that's it. Hope you have a great day. I'm a Saucy 5, and I'm